Excellent. Welcome to Truth in Telecoms. So much has been happening in terms of results and announcements. And well, Johnny, how are you? And what do
I'm
you
doing,
think of Twilio's results?
there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, they got a lot of resistance, 20
Yes.
million shares traded hands.
Yeah.
I thought the new CEO did the best job he possibly could. The analysts really didn't hit him that hard, although they did ask about Bird,
Yep. Yep.
and
Good.
without mentioning his name. And they did ask about the campaign registry,
Yeah.
two of the analysts that I think are pretty good. But you look, what happened? The day before, Anson bought $31 million in shares.
Yeah.
BlackRock bought 15 million shares.
Yeah.
So, and then CNBC, Joe Testicles, or whatever his name is the last guy out and didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
He came out with a sell.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of mixed stuff going on. They admitted that they're having a problem with Segment. Look, they spent $3.2 billion on Segment.
I know.
I remember back then, people were tweeting, "Oh, Jeff Lawson's greatest CEO ever." Segment, 290 million in revenue, 70 million in losses. It's going under review.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they
Results out in
AI'd the
March.
whole thing. Every other word was AI, AI, AI.
Yeah.
Look, you look at, after removing stock and intangible expense, they spent 758 million in real cash on marketing. On what?
Yeah.
No Super Bowl ads.
Nope.
Where? 5,000 employees. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because that's a lot
then,
of online advertising if that's where they're spending it.
I don't know. It's just, it doesn't make sense. And then here's a really caveat that I don't see any of the analysts picking up, is there's a steady increase in prepaid and other current assets from 81 million in 2020 to 186 million in 2021 to 282 million in 2022 to 329 million in 2023.
Yeah.
All of that needs to go into the P&L somewhere in the next 12 months.
Yeah.
Why the increase in prepaid? You're not a manufacturer, right?
Yep.
Where is that? Is that the COGS we're talking about? Like, where is that? They have no manufacturing or any inventory.
Nope.
That'd be some expensive D&O policy. You know what I mean? It's giving me flashbacks from WorldCom. A lot of people don't remember WorldCom.
Yes.
Capitalize everything and bury it later.
Yes. Exactly.
Maybe the Wall Street geniuses should look at that and figure out what their gross margin really is.
Yeah.
Or maybe Jeff's out there getting a defense attorney. When you have prepaid expenses,
that's big. It's a third of $1 billion.
There's no such thing as a prepaid sales expense.
Exactly.
So, look, there's a lot of things here, but I think they held off. Look, they got a lot of resistance. Today, only 4 million shares traded.
Yep.
They got a lot of cash in the bank. They're not going anywhere because it's an important asset. Twilio is important.
Yep.
And, when you have a 98% rate on open, whether it's spam or not, and there's a lot of communications going on in politics and business. So look, it's an important company.
Yep.
I wish they would stand up and support us and our mission. They're not. So, we'll keep poking until they come up. Look, our bottom line is still this insanity with the robocalling and the spam text.
Exactly.
Nobody's standing up.
No.
Sinch came out, like I said, they reported good numbers.
Yep.
Lorinda, the new CEO, Lorinda, crushed it. she manhandled, no pun intended, she manhandled the analysts over there.
Yeah.
But, she 33% margins, not sure how much of a blend an AIT that was. But, they
or
good
numbers. Or, gray roots.
Their stock should have flew. Why didn't it? Why?
Because
I think because of Twilio. Well, Twilio, they also have, I don't know, 800 million outstanding shares.
Yep.
Over there, but 24% owned insiders. So, like I said, Sinch is not going anywhere. They're going to be like an aircraft carrier. But she really turned it around. I was really impressed what the new CEO did.
Yeah.
And Bird invaded nobody this week. So I think maybe we have invasions coming next week with that. But it was really interesting week. I think Twilio just leveled out today, only 4 million shares traded. So I guess Well, look, they're not going away. I mean,
Oh no, they're not
gonna.
going away. But I mean, they beat analyst expectations, and
Yeah,
it
I mean,
plunged.
they beat whatever they beat. But my point being is, there's some
Yeah,
funny stuff going on there. You got
yeah,
some big groups. You got BlackRock buying shares
yeah.
right before the earnings. You got some serious stuff going on over there
Exactly.
that we
Yeah.
don't really know about.
Understood.
Um,
Yep. Yep. No, I agree.
but who's going to take their business in the U.S.? Who's going to take that developer market? It's not going anywhere, right?
No, no.
So could the CFO turn this around? Honestly, after listening to him yesterday and looking at this and the simple fact that these bozos don't know where to look, I think he could, because I think he's got support and he's got cash.
Yeah.
Like, they point blank, hey, what about that buyback? It's like, nah, we'll keep our money
Yeah.
because he's going to need it. He's going to
Exactly.
war. But
Yes.
as far as CPaaS being dead, from a Wall Street perspective, it's from all these other little companies running around saying, hey, we're CPaaS, we're CPaaS.
Yeah.
You got to differentiate yourself. So
Exactly.
Anthony
Yep.
Minicelli was right. And I don't know, you had the best 2 weeks ever. You go from Robert Viz, you
Yep.
go from Anthony Minicelli, and then
Exactly.
you bring in the CEO of Portal One and WebTrit,
Yep.
and then you close it off with Pieter for
Yes.
PrivateAI,
Exactly.
which is, these are subjects that we care about.
Yes.
And look, some of the companies we just talked about use them for
Yes.
scrubbing and
Exactly.
privacy. You know, but we keep coming back down to, you know, where are we at? Where are we at with identity? Where are we at with this insanity? You know, OpenAI came out with something today as far as how the ease of creating videos.
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
living in crazy times right now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Unreal Engine can do a whole host of things. And I thought it's making it easy. You don't have to be an expert. You can just basically give a simple, word description, and it'll create a video for you. So it is very powerful. And I mean, some of the examples I've seen, it's like they've got the ray tracing in there. So it is quite interesting. But I think what we had this week in the interview with Pieter from PrivateAI is important to every one of these companies that keep saying AI, AI, AI. It's how are you protecting customer privacy? Are you scrubbing your data? And what PrivateAI does is they take out the real data and they substitute it. So they change names, they change numbers. So the AI still has all the context. It's just false information. So you can
but nobody's using it, like he said. It means the majority of companies, like he said, are not using it. So it's Wild West. FBI just nailed a hacking ring out of Russia today.
Yes.
News, 1,000 hackers.
Oh, yeah.
You've got, Washington Post put that story out as far as, these foreign bad actors. Oh, we're going to make AI illegal. Well, they don't really care in North Korea. They don't really care in Iran. They don't care in these other countries, and they're still attacking. And
exactly.
so, look, I think and unfortunately, I mean, that one story about the guy that lost 50 grand and he got conned, smart guy. I don't know if you saw that story. I'll send it over to you.
I don't remember. There's just so many.
Enough is enough. We need to get the solution, and people need to call out. We haven't talked about Tata. I don't know how they're still running the campaign registry. They talk about compliance. There's no compliance in the campaign registry. It's just a shifting of dollars.
It's an industry. I mean, let's face it. We had all these consumer groups complaining to the FCC saying telcos have to be held responsible for SIM swap. They're the only entity. There's nobody else coming in. They have to be held accountable. And it's
paper tigers.
Exactly.
Paper tigers until the public comes, until the public stands up. Sadly, we're going to see a lot more of this going on. But I mean, Twilio, look, 3.2 million on Segment, 850 million on Zipwit, 750 million on Cineverse. Where are you going? And then, the campaign registry, and they want to know why that revenue dropped, because they were paying a $40 registration fee.
Yes.
And that created a lot of revenue because, spoiler alert, CPaaS companies, 80+% of all campaigns in the US are Twilio. And you may take some large enterprise, but the developers are going nowhere.
Yep.
And We haven't seen anywhere else. I'm excited to see what Bird does next. I'm waiting. I'm like waking up in the morning. I'm waiting for the birds to chirp. LinkedIn just did give him now, so we don't have to hashtag him anymore.
Okay.
So now you can go at Bird.
Oh yeah.
And
exactly.
then I put that thing out about on Valentine's Day Massacre of Cineverse.
Yes.
For 5 years they were hacked. They didn't know they were hacked.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And how Thorsten went down to DC, him and Hugs, Nicola, went down to DC at that time. I love that post. You didn't comment on it, so I'm gonna today I'm gonna put out my Charlie Brown post on how Thorsten is Lucy and how Roland Dennert and Scipio. I need my therapy. I have to start. It's my imaginary friend therapist to start talking about that. And look, I think it was an interesting week.
Yes.
Interesting couple of weeks. I mean,
exactly.
Twilio hammered. Yep. But they held off. We'll see.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, we wait to see. We still have to dig into the numbers. But is it too big to fail? Are there powers behind it? I mean, look at these institutionals that are buying.
Yes.
They don't seem to care about the metrics.
Exactly.
So,
Yep. They're buying in. Anson bought in. Yeah.
1.6 trillion transactions.
Yep.
In the US. I mean, it's going to take Bird a while to right on Bird's website, 90% discount in the US. He's coming right out and saying it. And but Sinch, they crushed it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They crushed it. I mean,
great results,
absolutely crushed it.
Yep.
And I don't know, but we had a lot of interesting stuff that's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks, but we got to keep screaming about TNID. I keep bringing it up there to people. I mean,
absolutely.
Nobody's talking about a solution. Everything's illegal. Oh, we're going to fine you.
What about a solution? That does. Exactly.
Maybe we stop it.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Self-sovereign identity, it's there, it's mature, it's understood, and there are applications. It's not just one solution, there's loads. So you've got competition, and there should be trials and tests. FCC should be encouraging a big competition, get the solutions out there, show them damn well working, and we can start protecting people.
We've been calling everybody out. Connective, come on, come and vet it.
Yeah.
Twilio even, come and vet it.
Exactly.
Sinch, I don't know where you are. Come and vet it. You are the hub for Verizon. Maybe you want to come take a look at something. Maybe you guys aren't too happy with us. But at the end of the day, we're here speaking today. Alexei Navalny got killed in Russia, destroyed over that. Talk about
terrible.
Talk about a hero, just a guy who stood up.
But it was unfortunately it was on the cards. I mean, I remember when he was in the plane returning, and I was like, "That's your death sentence."
Yeah, but who's tougher than that guy? I mean, really,
he was tough. But,
who won planet Earth?
Body is weak, but when you're up in the Arctic Circle.
My point being is, and just like us, now YouTube's not distributing us. We're still not out of jail. I guess we're political, although we're not. So it's a little disheartening when a champion of free. I mean, he's talking about free speech in Russia.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, think about it. But so there's a lot of things to go through. Next week going to be an exciting week.
Yep. But I think from when Wall Street starts, basically pulling down on what were solid, great margin with Sinch, because it's seen as the same category as Twilio.
It has to be
which is
either that or it's just sell on the news. What could it be? Or there's so many shares out there. Yeah. Like I said last week, it's just going to do this all day long, forever. Exactly. It's just day traders, guys, in and out,
coming in and out,
automated trading.
That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't pay too.
Well, I think there is algorithmic definitely in what was happening with Twilio after the announcement of its results. But
look, they're 80%, 78% institutional owned.
Yeah.
Right. So 20 million shares trading hands is a lot.
Yeah.
But there were buyers all day long.
Oh, yeah.
On the flip side of that, some covering shorts.
Yeah.
But look.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but to feel for the new CEO. I mean, look, guy's a CFO. He came in there. Yeah, he's been there for a couple of years, but it's exposed. The company's exposed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Bird exposed it. They asked only one question on it,
Yeah.
The analysts. So I don't know who these are. Maybe you should start posting our stuff in the chat rooms. But then we'll get ourselves shot.
Get
You
it?
read those things, you lose your mind.
Oh yeah, and there's some crazy stuff that goes in the
You,
chat rooms around
you know,
the particular stocks. Also, there's so many rules. If you start posting links in, and you got to how often you post in
nah,
there.
you
There's a
don't, you
whole
don't want
host
to
of
do that.
rules. Yeah, but I think to me, there's a
But AI
broader.
washing,
Oh,
AI washing. Goldman Sachs
everybody,
came out and talked about it today.
yes,
AI, we're AI, we're AI,
everybody
we're
is
AI.
saying it.
They're
Yeah,
like crack addicts. Hey, come on, come on, come on, come
exactly.
on, give me AI,
Well,
AI, AI.
we have Mobile World Congress coming up. Yeah, I think next week or the week after, I don't know. But AI is in every press release going out. And of course, I keep pointing out, so how do you protect customer data? And there's no
Just
answer.
TNID.
Yeah,
Nobody's talking about that stuff,
exactly. But I mean,
But
the
him,
point I was making is on this CPaaS stuff, they're all messaging customer experience and omni-channel customer experience. And of course, you know, Robert Viss, declared omni-channel as the great white lie in
yep.
CPaaS because it's not, it's separate platforms. And you see that. And it's separate acquisitions, say in the case of Sinch. So I see them sort of trying to position because, it's where you put AI, it's where it's old-fashioned, it's where there's growth. But these are you've got like Sprinkler, you've got all the conversational AI companies, you've got all the traditional, contact center as a service providers, and all the UCaaS companies, RingCentral, they have, contact center in there, as well as a bunch of APIs. So I sort of see it as, where CPaaS is trying to go is getting squeezed on all sides. I mean, when Twilio announced the acquisition of Segment, I was circumspect, especially around the price tag. But customer data platform, customer data is critical. I thought, okay, and with the rise of AI,
And why should they have your customer data? Like why? I mean, just
yes,
think about it. So at the
yeah,
end of the day, like, oh, so we're going to trust Twilio now? I
yeah,
mean, really?
exactly.
They're not political. No, I mean they weren't. I don't know where they are now.
Well, yeah, I think that
Um,
that'll be more neutral now. I think they learned the lesson that when the CEO, wears his sort of politics, on his sleeve, it impacts the business. So because other companies within the telecoms industry are, shall we say, a little bit more conservative. But anyway, I think Segment was interesting, and it was before its time. It did take them several years before the customers understood the importance of what Segment delivered to them, and that delayed the revenue because it's about 280, is it, million Segment by revenue? I can't remember.
290 million revenue, 72 million in losses, but they're losing customers, and
Yes.
it's under review. So look,
Yeah.
Twilio's want to get rid of it. New CEOs want to get rid of it because look, Jeff
Yeah.
Epstein's the chairman. He was Lawson's guy. The CEO is Lawson's guy. So they're still lobbying and fighting, trying
Yeah.
to fight off these activist investors.
Yeah.
But nobody big is come up to the table.
No.
So Anson is still buying $31 million.
Yeah.
I mean, BlackRock bought a little less than that. But where is the player? Maybe
Yeah.
Bird's working on something now. I don't know. With his outside investors. I mean, look.
But Microsoft, Amazon, Google, they all engage developers and have the scale to be able to cope and manage effectively all the developer engagement Twilio has. So there's three companies there.
This is going to go on for a while.
Yeah.
So this is going to go on for a long time, and they got plenty of cash.
Yes.
And as long as the CEO can withstand it. But what people don't understand is the mobile operators that took down Twilio.
Correct.
First with ZipWhip, and with Cineverse, and with the campaign registry, who, by the way, came to you, Twilio, for you to buy it.
Yes.
And I think the ZipWhip guys, they spoke to the ZipWhip guys. Were like, nah, we already took their money. Don't buy the campaign registry. But it would have been a good buy.
Yeah.
It would have been a good buy for them. Then they would have owned everything. Twilio. So Jeff tried to buy everything. He tried to cooperate with the carriers, and they want to slit their throats. So Twilio, AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon wants to slit your throat. And nobody's brought up T-Mobile and the zero charges. Nobody. I don't even know if Robert Viz even knows that's coming. Because tomorrow morning, they can hit you on 1 million spam texts with a $200 billion fine. Yeah. Do the math. They could do it like that. No court, nobody to yell to. So T-Mobile is just sitting there lurking, and nobody's talking about that anymore. And everybody kind of forgot, and out of nowhere, they could just slap you
exactly
with that fine. So, that's a serious thing.
And that's stopping. I mean, I know several companies that were looking at, they do voice today in North America, and they were looking to add in, because of customer requests, messaging, and they just saw the mess in terms of the fines and the costs, and it was like, who pays?
I know a couple of guys that got out because of that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And what they could do to small businesses. So maybe, I don't know, but I feel bad for guys trying to raise capital.
Yes.
At this moment, if you don't have the money, I mean,
it's going to be tough.
And Sinch is paying down debt. I mean, this lady from she's from Lumen, which is a monster company, but had $20 billion in debt. I think she should have been the CEO over there, but I think it was an all boys network. Okay. But look, they gave her a chance. You got founders over there.
Yep.
I'm more upset about people being scammed.
Yes.
Some of these enterprises with the AIT.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
Yep.
It's going to keep going on. The gateway is going to keep happening.
Exactly.
We'll see. We've got to do a piece on it. We got to see where that goes.
We've got to get that out, because it's an industry that's, unfortunately, to make money, it's a profitability issue. If you don't use these different techniques, your margins are next to zero. So it's an industry that's become dependent on misbehavior, unfortunately.
Pretty much. A little bit.
I know. A bit of a downer to end this one, but regardless, I think, what we've been pointing out.
I don't think it's a downer. The Viz is here. Anthony Minicelli's here. We got great stuff going on. TNID. We've got a solution. So for me, it's not a downer. For me, it's a great thing.
I agree. It's just
we got to keep
more
moving
of the industry. Exactly.
Look, unless the public comes, none of these people care. But every one of you companies, look, we're going to start poking. We'll give you another shot. Julio, we want to hear from you. Absolutely. What do you think about what's going on? Sinch, we want to hear from you too.
Exactly.
So we'll take it light this week. We'll let the bird do the bird. What birds do on people's heads. So put your hats on. I have a feeling the birds are flying around somewhere.
Somewhere, exactly.
You just can't come out and invade countries and we drop that price. Maybe they deported them. Maybe we don't know. But Robert Viz, where are you, man?
Oh yeah,
we missed you all week.
Yeah, but maybe he's very busy with his investors. But anyway, hopefully next week
we don't know. We'll find out.
We'll have another dose of Roberts to entertain us. But you have a great weekend,
my friend. I'll talk to you later.
Imagine a world where rights and influence are digitally tracked, immutably stored and monetized based on real humans, not bots. This is the power of blockchain technology. For music artists, it's a game changer. It offers a transparent way to track and measure your impact on a following, turning your creativity into a valuable asset. If you're a major artist or influencer and you're not utilizing this, you're leaving money on the table. But here's the real kicker. This technology is as close as your phone. Picture your phone number as a 10-digit magic lock, and you provide a key that you control. Take back and fully monetize your creator rights and not empower big tech companies to take your compensation. This is the future of you in control of your digital identity and those that follow you. The future is now. Seize it.